Hey, what's up everyone? It's Eric here from Guy and Kicks, bringing you another video. And in today's video, I want to just switch it up and do a little bit different. And I want to compare a few sneakers that have been very popular for New Balance. And I just want to bring you guys a detailed look of these shoes in case you're someone who is thinking of buying one of these pairs, or is someone who has been looking at New Balance and you still haven't bought yourself a pair of New Balance yet and you're still looking around to see which one fits better, which one looks better. Or if you're someone who already has one of these three sneakers that I'll be talking about and you're thinking of getting a second one, or whatever the reason may be, hopefully this video will be able to give you that detailed look and explanation and aesthetics as to which one will be better for you. So today's video is on the New Balance 990 V5 versus the 992 versus the 993. So I made a video on the 990 V5. I'll include a link here so you guys can check it out and watch a more detailed look of this shoe. But in this video, I'm gonna gloss over some of the main highlights of each shoe. So starting with the 990 V5, the materials on this shoe are primarily suede, leather, mesh, rubber, and some plastic. The 990 V5 is actually the newer one out of these three sneakers. However, the 990 line has been around for New Balance for over 3 decades. This sneaker retails for $175, similar to the 992 and the 993. One of the main differences you're gonna notice on the 990 is that it has more of a sleeker design, a more modern look to it, and it does have a little bit more premium materials when you kind of compare all three. For example, when you look at the tongue and you look at the US flag there, it's made out of a better plastic material there. It looks more premium. One big difference you're going to notice on the 990 is that both ends on the medial and lateral side are bigger than on the other two silhouettes. The 990 features these power straps that you're going to find around the ankle area. They're intended for a little bit more support around the ankle area. Another key feature of the 990 V5 is that it comes with Ortholite insole. The other two pairs do not. In terms of the cushioning system, the 990 V5 features NCAP. NCAP is more of an older cushioning system by New Balance. Around the upper of the shoe, you're going to find some 3M accents. On both ends, you're going to find some 3M. On the heel part, the Roman numeral 5 is also in 3M, and you're gonna find some additional hints of 3M throughout the upper of the shoe. All three sneakers feature the Endurance outsole materials. And finally, in terms of aesthetic, this one's a little bit slimmer, a little bit sleeker, and the midsole is a little bit less chunkier. All right guys, so jumping on to the 992. This one's also $175. Very similar materials. The upper is primarily suede, leather, mesh materials. The midsole and outsole is made out of a rubber material, and it also has accents of 3M throughout the upper of the shoe, including both ends on the medial and lateral side. As you can see in this one, aesthetically, this one is definitely different than the 990. Has a bulkier midsole. One key difference on the 992 is that it has Absorb SBS, which is basically a more modern cushioning system the New Balance created for better absorption. It basically places two key shock absorptions on the midsole of the shoe, on the heel part and on the forefoot. So ideally, this is probably a better running shoe than the 990. No Ortholite insole on the 992, and similar to the 990, it does have an Endurance outsole. Jumping onto the 993, similar to the other sneakers, the upper is primarily suede, leather, mesh materials, and the midsole and outsole are made out of a rubber material. I would say if you were to pick two out of the three that are very similar, obviously it'll be the 992 and the 993. No Ortholite insoles for this one either. And in terms of cushioning, it features a more modern Absorb technology, which is the Absorb DTS. It's supposed to be a little bit better in terms of durability, and it should not be breaking down as quicker as a regular EVA foam. So again, if you're looking for one to run in, maybe it's between this one and the 992. And finally, this one also features an Endurance outsole. So now that we have the materials and comfort and things like that out of the way, let's get into the real stuff here. So a lot of things that I'm going to say here is just based on my opinion. It's based on, how comfortable the shoes are for me, and in terms of how I like the way the shoe looks. So, definitely if you need to go and try them out for sizing and things like that, I definitely recommend that, because I would say that overall they do run a little bit big. The cool thing is that each one of these is a different size, so I can kind of probably give you a better gauge there. So for example, the 990 is a size 9.5. The 992 is a 10.5, and the 993 is a size 10. I am a size 10 true to size, and I gotta say, probably overall, in terms of the best fit, I probably will go with the 990, which is a half size down. I'm fine with the 993, even though it's a half size bigger. I'm okay with it. Actually, I don't really know. It's not like a night and day difference. But when I put on the 992, that's a 10.5. This one definitely felt way too big, to the point that I should have already returned this, but thanks to New Balance, they do give you a 45-day return. So I haven't returned it yet. So that's why I've been having it, and kind of, it was a good thing because I was able to kind of make another video out of it. But yeah, in terms of this one being 10.5, way too big. So it's either between going true to size or half size down. So in terms of overall comfort, if you want to get like kind of scientific with it, of course the 993 and the 992 have a more modern cushioning system. The only thing that I can't really give you a true determination of which one's more comfortable is because the 992 is not my size and I haven't been able to wear it on a regular day. I just put them on for the video really, but I haven't really been able to wear, like I'm wearing the 990 and the 993. But when I do wear the 990 and the 993, I've tell you, man, I'm getting all day comfort. I have really no complaints on either or. And you really don't really feel that much of a difference between the 990 that has end cap and the 993 that has absorbed DTS. So you really don't notice a difference there. It's not like, for example, if you were to try on a pair of like Nike Reacts and a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost, like you're definitely gonna notice a difference there. With these two systems, I guess, the end cap and the absorbed DTS, you're really not gonna notice much difference there. So, but I guess if you wanna get into the scientific part of it, obviously, you know, absorbed DTS and the absorbed SBS sound like they make more sense, especially if you're going to use, you know, one of these three for running and not necessarily just for lifestyle. But in terms of overall comfort, everyday comfort, lifestyle, things like that, you know, there's not really a huge difference there. I would say they're pretty much tied there. So in terms of look and in terms of aesthetics, you know, the 992 and the 993, they have, you know, I would say they look the most similar out of the three. You know, the 992 with a bulkier midsole and the 993 with a more sleeker midsole. But they both have sort of that chunky dad shoe vibe going on for sure. The 990 V5 also has a dad shoe vibe going on as well, but it does look a little bit sleeker, sort of more modern. The materials are more modern, like I said before. If you want to go with the more sleeker look, the more modern look, then you probably want to go with the 990. But if you love the whole chunky dad shoes, then the 992 is probably the best one, because the midsole, especially there in the back, looks a lot chunkier than on the 990 and also the 993. So the big question, right? Which one do I recommend to you? Honestly, like, it really does depend. If you're someone who likes hype shoes and exclusive shoes, then going the 992 route is the best. They have the better collaborations and they have the better colorways. But if you want to go the 992 route, just keep in mind you're going to overpay, especially the ones with the collaboration. You're going to have to pay resale for those. And even the ones that are, you know, are original colorways, like especially the Castle Rock colorway, which is the famous gray color, like this one here, you're still going to overpay. Probably, you know, like a size 10 right now for me on resale is probably going for like maybe $230, $240. And that's without fees and shipping. If you also want to look at it like a collaboration, like a Jounds or something like that, then be ready to cough up some money for sure. If you're someone who is just getting into this whole, you know, New Balance wave, especially with the dad shoe look, I honestly recommend just going with the 990 V5. It's a safer route. You know, it's a great shoe. I still think that out of all the shoes that I currently have right now, I still think it's the most comfortable one. I would suggest going with the 990 V5. There's still a lot of dope colorways out there. It's probably the easiest one to get. Today I haven't checked on New Balance to see if most sizes are available. I would suggest going with the 990 V5. It's just a safer route, and you do have more options in terms of colors compared to the 993. The main reason I recommend the 993 is because if you're someone who, you really love the 992, but you're not really someone to pay resale for sneakers, and obviously you don't want to pay $250, $260 for a pair of shoes, then the 993 is probably the one to go with. It does have a more vintage look to it, a little bit bulkier than the 990, and it looks very similar to the 992. I would recommend the 993 for someone like that. The only knock on the 993 for me personally is that there aren't that many colorways. I believe it's just this indigo blue, the Castle Rock colorway, and also the black one if I'm not mistaken. So there aren't a ton of colorways, but this indigo blue or navy blue is a clean look. Don't sleep on the 993. It's a dope shoe, it's clean, it's comfortable. So yeah, that's where the 993 falls in that category. If you don't want to pay resale for the 992, just go with the 993, you'll be fine. So if you can't tell by now, I'm torn between the 990 V5 and the 992 as to which one is the best one. Probably I'm just blind with the hype. Obviously the 992 has so much hype right now that's probably why I'm leaning towards the 992 in terms of which one do I prefer out of the three. But honestly, I just think that the 990 V5 is just a clean look. I love how the end, you have a bigger end on the 990 V5. It stands out more, more modern. Like I said, you have more modern materials on this one. I love how the mesh has this like metallic look to it. It shines a little bit when the light hits it. I've been wearing this one way more than the three of these, so it's been great to me. So because of that, I guess I'm still picking the 990 V5 as the best one. All right guys, so let me show you how all three of these look on feet, and perhaps that'll make your decision a little bit easier in terms of which one you want to go with. So again, I just hope this video was able to help you decide if you've been looking at one of these three pairs, or if you've been looking at all three pairs. Hopefully this video will make it easier for you to decide which one you want to go. To be honest, man, just get them all. All right guys, so like always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Like always, follow me on Instagram at Guy in Kicks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. For all the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and just showing love and support. I appreciate that. And like always, catch you guys on the next one. See ya.